Everybody, we're here with the fastest man on the planet, the pro class in the ATV-MX. We're going to talk to the top 5 riders of today at round 7 in Briarcliff. George Davis is sitting here with me. He's going to take over the duties to help me make this happen. And thank you very much, George. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Lenny. I'm glad to be here. Excited to talk to these gentlemen.
What do you think about how the class is breaking down? These guys are just flying this year.
Well, it's actually 5 guys flying, not just 2 as usual. So this is really, really good. I don't know if Joel and Chad are starting to get nervous yet, but they're getting closer. It seems like it's a matter of time before someone else is on the top spot.
Well, you got 4 guys riding Yamahas, and they're all teaming up with that poor guy riding a Honda.
They definitely are.
You know, I mean, come on, that's not fair, is it?
But I think for many, many years it was the opposite, right? So maybe it is fair. They're all beating up on Chad.
Yeah, they beat up on Chad for quite a while. But hey, these guys, I believe in my heart that the game is being elevated. I know that Joel's on fire. I know that Chad's on fire. Chad's been doing some things to elevate his game, and Joel just stepped right in and stepped up the ladder with him. So did Jeffrey, Bryce, Brandon, all these guys. They're just doing things that most people never thought could be done on an ATV.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, when you see how fast they're going, you really can appreciate that they're at another level.
Yes, they are. So let's get this thing going, and let's get the people introduced to them so that we can let everybody know the fastest 5 men on the planet. Jeffrey Restrelli, in 5th place in the pro class. How are you, Jeff?
Doing well. Yeah, we're here at a nice golf course in Ohio, and yeah, we're just here talking with my buddies and competitors and you guys. So yeah, just really excited to be here.
How's things breaking down with your new team this year?
It's going great. You know, just starting my own program. It's been obviously hectic, but it's been really good. So it's really exciting, and the bike's working well, and everything's been going well, and everybody behind me's been doing really good. So yeah, it's been a little bit nerve-wracking for sure, but it's overall been awesome for sure.
I know that when we spoke in the past, you had some physical issues going on. How have those broke down for you, and have you got that all sorted out?
Yeah, we got it mostly sorted out. I think that my endurance-wise, I'm better now than I've ever been in my career. Just obviously the foods that I eat and different things like that have taken effect on that. So switched my diet tremendously, and mostly, you know, it's paid off. So we're doing really good. I think that maybe I'm not the fastest I've ever been, but I think my endurance at the end of the races has really stepped up. So that's always a plus for me, and something I struggled with in the past. So it's right now we're looking good. We're battling these boys for 3rd place in the points, and obviously want to get up there with Chad and Joel a little bit more. But yeah, it's been a good battle, and we're looking pretty good. So.
How do you like the course? I know they made some changes for Briarcliff. How do you like it so far with those changes?
I think it's good. I think that they worked last week with us and made some changes to it. And it's pretty good. There was some couple singles there that we were launching flat, and they kind of steepened those up a little bit, so we couldn't do that. And then today it seemed like the track was a little bit deeper and a little bit had a little bit more moisture in the ground, which slowed it down a little bit and made some kickers in the corners and some ruts that we didn't see last week. So I think the track's going to shape up really good for tomorrow, and should supply really good racing.
George, what do you got for Jeffrey?
I wanted to touch base a little more on the team switch. For a number of years you were on the Powerhouse Phoenix team, and you're being modest because you didn't just start your own program, you started your own business. Talk to us a little bit about that, how it went, and how it's going.
Well, it was actually pretty crazy. Like after this season, I battled with Bryce last season with Phoenix, and we had a really tight points race to the last race at Briarcliff, and I kind of threw it away by wrecking after the Bigfoot, and kind of gave him the upper hand that day. And I feel like maybe if I would have got that 3rd spot, that I would have been invited back to ride from that team. But I kind of just didn't really get the vibe that I was going to be coming back. So we had to obviously make a choice. Either I was done or I was going to start my own program. So I started my own program, and obviously trying to start the business side of things too was to support my racing efforts with obviously the money that I make from the business, and go after new sponsors and be able to supply them with selling their product as well, which I think helped a lot in my sponsorship. So it was a big deal, but at the same time, I mean, and a lot of work, but at the same time, I'm very glad I did it, and it's just really positive, and it's me now, like it's me and a couple people, and I don't rely on anybody except myself, and that's, I have a good support group, but, it's on me, like me doing the race bike, me doing everything, like, it's a big deal for me, and makes me work that much harder because it's obviously, it's all on my shoulders. So.
And I guess probably one of the benefits of being on your own team is you get to pick your products, not maybe products that the team's telling you to ride. So,
yeah.
I noticed you're back with JB Racing. Sort of touch base on some of those relationships.
Yeah, that was a big move for me. Like, I obviously never really wanted to leave JB, but of course Phoenix was on Walsh, and you got to go where the team's going. So that's where I went, and that was like the first thing that popped back in my mind that I wanted to go back to, and obviously Baldwin Motorsports, I went back to him as well with my motors. So those are the two main things. The other stuff like CST and Elka, and those were already established for the past couple of years, but also Rath Racing was another one that's, Jennifer and Daryl, like I wanted to go back to them because they did so much for me for my whole career. So it was a big deal for me to go back to JB and Baldwin and Rath for sure.
So it's truly a homecoming then, I guess you'd say, right?
Yeah, for sure. And rebuilding those relationships was really cool because, like, especially Jennifer and Daryl, like, it was funny. She was like, you could have, and I kind of did it, maybe did it wrong at a younger age. I just left and didn't really say thank you, kind of thing. And then kind of going back to them, like, hey, you just could have said thanks. I'm like, you're right, and I apologize for that. And, just to kind of rebuild those relationships that maybe that I left in the wrong foot, that I didn't really, as a younger rider, like I just went where the team went and didn't really, I guess wasn't very, not grateful, but just didn't reach out to those people, and I go to reach out to them to get back, and it was just it was a good feeling to be able to talk to them again and support their product and their brand.
As a business owner and running your own program, you're seeing how important it is to take on that when you don't thank somebody correctly, to reach back and always be there for them. I'm seeing maturity and growth.
Yeah, 100%. Like it was a very big deal for me. Like obviously when you have somebody else doing your program or riding for a team or something like that, it's you don't see those things like that. You just kind of I don't know, you kind of overlook it. So to go back and do my own thing, definitely had to rebuild those relationships, and it was good. It's a good thing for sure.
So one last question, I guess. So what gave you that idea, right? Because the easy thing is to say, man, I lost my ride, I'm done, not my fault. What made you double down?
I don't know, like me and my wife were just talking, and I don't want to be done. I felt like I was, like last year I came back from obviously having health issues and a lot of wrecks and a lot of injuries, and I felt like I wasn't done yet. Like I felt like I had more in the tank, and I just told my wife, I was like, I'm not done. I cannot be done. And we looked obviously to Mr. Veenan here. He owns his own business and doing that same thing, and he's successful and able to do it. And obviously being an 8-time champ helps, but I was just like, I gotta try and do that and sell parts. Maybe I can make enough money to help fund my own program and go get enough sponsors to fund this thing. So, and it worked out. And I think going to the people that the products that I'm selling and telling them I want to sell their products was allowed them to obviously help me more as well. Because if you're moving their product, they don't really see it as much. If they sponsor you and then somebody buys it, they might have bought it because of you, but they don't know that. So to the fact of that moving product by purchasing them from them and then selling them to customers, I think that actually helped them help me as well. So that's mostly why. I mean, honestly, because Chad and set this platform, and you see the success, and you want to be part of that.
Well, we could get into a whole conversation about sponsorship and giving back to your sponsors and how that you selling their product and having people buy their product is a bonus, and you are all employees of your sponsors, whether you believe it or not, because without them you couldn't be doing this. And Jeffrey, I want to say thank you so much for sitting down and taking some time with us, and we're looking to see you do great things and enjoy your race.
appreciate that. Thank you guys so much.
We have Brandon Hogue in the number 4 spot. Brandon, your season started out really amazing. You had a great Daytona until some catastrophic failure happened. Talk us through your season so far.
Yeah, Daytona definitely was pretty cool to experience for me. It was cool to just lead laps like that, especially being the season opener. Yeah, we had a mechanical failure, which I didn't know really what it was, but yeah, that definitely hurt, and I did a lot of crying that day for sure. But I knew that, you know, maybe one day I'll actually lead it from start to finish and try to win. So yeah, it was more motivating than anything, and the season has been pretty good. My riding has been pretty good. It's been better than previous years, I think. It just hasn't been able to show at the races. So yeah, we're just going to keep trying to get closer to Joel and Chad there really fast. So we're just going to keep trying.
Well, you had some good finishes. You've got yourself into 4th in the points. I believe you're tied with Bryce. And you also made a team choice change. How is that working out for you? I know that we can't count Daytona, but the rest of the rounds, it seems like you're making headway.
Yeah, the team behind me is really awesome. They just allow me to be really hands-on with everything, from shocks to gearing and everything, and it makes a difference on race day and just in practice in general. So these guys behind me are just phenomenal. Like, I'm so glad that they reached out to me to be on their team, and we have big plans for the future still. Like, we talk pretty much every weekend on what we want to change for next year to try to get closer to the front group. So yeah, they're just all into racing like I am, and I really appreciate people like that where I do my homework and they're doing their homework too to make sure that what I'm riding and everything is at its best. So yeah, this team is just phenomenal.
I know you've tried the Yamaha and you went back to the Honda. Do you think that this is the platform that you want to move forward on, or at some point, or you think you're going to end up on a Yamaha?
Yeah, no, our plans are to stay on the Honda, to be honest with you. I just feel like we have a really good base with that bike, and I think it can still win. If I didn't feel like it would win, then I wouldn't be racing it right now. So yeah, I still think it can win. I would really like to one day do that, and it'd be cool to do it on a Honda when everyone else is on the Yamaha. So yeah, if I didn't believe in it, man, I really wouldn't be on it, that's for sure.
So to sort of parlay on that, for decades, you know, ATV racing was dominated by Hondas, and now they're the underdog. Are you seeing an increase in your fan base, being that you're still riding for riding a Honda?
Yeah, like at the autograph signing and stuff, there'll be guys, you know, big Honda guys. Now they're big fans of me, so that's pretty cool. It's really cool to at least, you know, I'd like some more help. If there's some more Honda guys out there that want to come up here and race with us, please help me out. But yeah, no, it's really cool. It's cool to gain some fans like that.
That is, because yes, Honda is an iconic brand, and they have dominated the series for so many years, and then Chad had to come and bring Yamaha, and here we go, right? But Brandon, if you could lay out the track for us, where's the Honda going to benefit you that you think that you will gain time on the Yamahas?
Yeah, so I just feel like I can turn the bike a little better as far as if I need to break the bike loose, I can. The Yamaha is really hooked up, so if the track kind of dries out, maybe that can go in my favor. There's a really good like drift point with the Honda. It just turns super flat, so the Yamaha's got a lot of traction, and sometimes you can like over drift that bike. Sometimes it tips up, but I mean, these guys got their Yamahas figured out. So it's more just, man, we ride all pretty much the same. There's some areas the Yamaha can eat my bike up, and maybe some areas my bike works pretty well or is easy to turn. So, and the bumps this year with Wayne from PEP also, like, I felt like that was a weakness in the past, but I really trust my bike now, and it's just nice to be working with him, and like, I don't feel really under leveraged on that scenario with like sand tracks and everything. So yeah, it's just, both bikes have pros and cons, but for me, I've just grown up on a Honda, and it's just what I'm used to, so it would take a lot to switch over to the Yamaha for me.
Not to stay on that too long, but you got a unique experience that you've been on both the Yamaha and the Honda in the last 12 months. You talked a lot about the differences in the chassis, but what about the engines?
Yeah, that's a tough one because my Yamaha engine was a rocket for sure. I ripped some hole shots on that, but this year I'm ripping starts on my Honda too. So it's funny, they're actually a lot different power-wise, but somewhat the same, if that makes any sense. Like, the Yamaha's got real good response with the throttle. If you just touch the throttle, it'll go with the fuel injection. I'm still on the carburetor, so that's kind of, you know, something that comes into play, but at the same time, the Honda is really smooth power. Like, I can turn the bike and it's not going to rip out of my arms. There's a good balance with the bike. So the Honda's just really just more consistent for me. And with hole shots too, I would always wheelie my Yamaha, and with the Honda, I feel like I can do it like blindfolded, if that makes sense. Like, it's just pretty easy to hole shot for sure.
That's outstanding. Brandon, good luck this weekend, and thank you very much for coming and spending some time with us and helping promote the sport.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate being here, and yeah, let's have fun tomorrow.
Exactly. I think you guys are going to bang some bars. Bryce Ford, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I just want to thank you for having us in a live show. This is pretty cool to have. We haven't had one of these since I've been coming to the Nationals, so it's definitely a cool experience. And yeah, just thank you for everything and coming to a National. And, yeah.
Well, hey, it's my pleasure. You guys are the fastest 5 men in the world, and I really enjoy talking with you and learning some of the things I can about you guys. So, Bryce, tell us how the season's going for you and how the weekend's going to break down.
Yeah, so Daytona, it started out pretty good. I don't remember how I qualified, but in the main, I got a bad start, but just tucked in on the start and was third or fourth for a while, just behind Joel and Brandon, and they were riding a really good pace. I just might have been a little bit off their pace, but I felt comfortable with where I was at. And unfortunately, Brandon had a little mechanical issue, and I was in second, and then the last lap I just got lazy and got you know, a little tired and made a mistake and ended up tipping over and getting fourth overall there. And then Texas just came in with a lot of confidence and led for quite a while in that race, which was really good for my confidence and just really an awesome experience to run in front of Joel and Chad. It's always something special. It doesn't happen a lot, but that was a good one. And then just, it's been pretty solid since then. Ironman, couldn't really control what happened there. Sunset just had a little bobble, but looking to clean up the mistakes a little bit and have a good weekend on a track that I've practiced on a little bit in the last 3 weeks, and just gonna try to bring that confidence back and build off of this race.
Bryce, you've been selected to be on Team USA. How much of a confidence boost does that give you going into this round?
It's definitely something that's great. I don't know if I'd use a confidence boost is the way I would say it. It's a little nervous because now I'm like, I don't want to get hurt, but I'm not thinking about that right now. It's an awesome experience, and it's something I've dreamed of since 2017. My brother went to Italy, and then I went to the race last year, and just the atmosphere there is crazy, and there's 3 riders in the whole U.S. that get this chance, and to be one of those guys, it's an awesome experience, and I just need to focus on where I'm at race by race, and then once we get to the end of the season, worry about the nation's race.
You have 2 pretty amazing guys next to you. I think that they'll help walk you through it and keep you on track. Let's get back to Briarcliff, and what are some of the bonuses to this track that are going to allow you to get out front?
Just riding there, and I just like the way the track has been since I've practiced there a couple days. It's really fast, to be honest with you. It's a little scary at times, but it is what it is. I mean, I just like the track. I like the big triple. The track's pretty good. It's not my favorite, but we'll make it work.
So to hear one of the fastest guys in the world say that it's a little scary, that's pretty impressive. So you know, I for one definitely want to see what happens tomorrow, because that's pretty candid, and we appreciate your candor. I wanted to touch on maybe a little more candor I mean, Bryce, I guess they would call you the chosen one, right? Ever since you were a youth, you got the speed. You're starting to get the consistency. Tell us about what that pressure's been like. You know, being the one that everyone expects to finally be on top of the box instead of Chad and Joel.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that because I feel like I'm the hated one sometimes. But it's been crazy. Just racing 250s, I won those 3 titles the one year, and just the amount of pressure it took to do that. And then I stepped up to a 450 and did pretty good in Pro-Am. I won that and Pro Sport, but it was definitely a challenge just going to a bigger bike and racing people that are really going for the win and really want to beat you. It was different for sure. And then my second year on a 450, I ran Pro Class, which was one of the gnarliest things I've ever experienced, just riding with those guys and just losing by 45 seconds and being like, man, I felt like I rode my best, and just, yeah, it's crazy. But I've never really felt like the chosen one. I've definitely felt like I've had some speed in my youth and amateur days, but just, yeah.
Well, for one, I'll say that you would be my choice for Team USA, so let the internet say what they'll say. You'll be there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I actually deleted Facebook and Instagram because I saw the comments and some of those posts were getting a little crazy, and it just sucks for me because I try to stay so positive, and I try to help out any way I can, and people can turn any positive into a negative, but we'll just keep my head clear, just doing what I'm doing, and just super excited to go to the Nations race.
Well, you got to focus on your end of the year points. You're running 3rd right now. There's 2 guys in front of you that you need to run down to get yourself on the top of the box, and they're not going to be easy guys to beat. I believe, watching some of the races and some of the videos that I've seen of you, that you have the speed to run with them. Is there anything that you would like to change to bring yourself a little closer to them?
To be honest with you, I think my bike's just as good as theirs. It's capable to win. My fitness is capable. It's just the mindset when you're on the gate. You're like looking up to these guys 3 years ago and knowing that Joel and Chad are arguably the best to ever do this. And then you have Brandon Hogan, Jeffrey Rastrelli, and just many more. It's definitely stressful, and it's just the nerves on the gate. I didn't get to experience that just in the younger days of racing, and just going against these fast guys. It's crazy. Like when you're on the gate, it's a different feeling, something that I've never felt in any type of racing, like just any class that I've raced. So I just think the mindset I had at Texas was better than some of the last races, but I'm going to clear my head and just go into this one knowing that everything's even for this 3rd place spot, and just see what we can do, and trust my fitness, my bike, my suspension, and just let everything play out.
So you're telling me that you're looking to dethrone the Kings?
No. I mean, I am for sure, but I'm not going to disrespect those guys. They've definitely spanked me a little bit this year, but Texas, I gave them a run for their money. But I mean, I have a ton of respect for Joel and Chad. They're crazy, and this year in qualifying, Joel's qualified like a second faster quite a bit, and it's just Chad's done great, and just the way they race is crazy, and just being behind them and even in front of them, you have to ride 110%, and I respect what they do. I'm working on it. I'm gonna do my best every race. I'm confident, but I respect them.
That's outstanding. That's exactly the way you're supposed to bring it across. Thank you so much, Bryce, for spending some time with us. Good luck tomorrow. Keep your head down and stay focused.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Leonard. I really appreciate it. I'm excited for the Nations race. And tomorrow's going to be a good race. I look to get a good start and just battle it out with these guys and have a lot of fun.
That's outstanding, brother. Good luck. Chad Wienen, 2nd in points. How are you, brother?
I'm fine. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, it's my pleasure. Thank you for sitting down with us. I know that you guys are on a tight schedule in the evenings. And Chad, you've won the last 2 races. You've got some pressure because there's a little bit of a gap in the points. Are you bringing it full force?
Yeah, I mean, I got to. It's been a year of just some odd things that have happened. Not that I wasn't a big part of that, but I am the guy pushing the throttle, so I'm going for it. Just these last 2 rounds have started to play into my favor, and I've been able to ride to my full potential, and I feel it's a good time to start bringing it on and try to keep fighting for this championship. And we got a lot of racing left, so I'm pretty excited to see what we got ahead of us.
How do you feel about the changes that were made to the track?
You know, there were some changes, but it wasn't like a drastic night and day change where it was a total facelift. I feel like it'll slow down in certain sections, and other sections it'll be just as fast. But you know, it's a track that we got to compete on, and I got to try and bring that good starting mentality that I had last year to get me out front. And that position is going to be so huge tomorrow, that start position, and I got to bring that to really contend for a win tomorrow.
I know that a lot of people talk about age, and this is one of those things that your youth is coming out in you with the change in the diet and the way that you train. Are you getting younger?
I'm definitely not getting younger, but I mean, I feel like certain things have gotten better in my program, and also I'm a guy, and you know, I'm 37 years old, so I got to make sure I'm taking very good care of my body to be able to perform at a high level, and I've been really focused on that for probably the last 4 or 5 years, and noticing that when you get bumps and bruises, it takes a little bit longer to get healthy again. But honestly, I feel like my age is just a number, and I'm having a blast riding with the best guys in the world, riding motocross, and it's been my childhood dream, just to be able to do something I love, and this is my path, so I've been loving it.
That's outstanding. So what do you got?
So for me, the most interesting thing about the Chad versus Joel year after year battle is no matter what, every single year you both step it up. How are you able to do that? I mean, what are you able to do to find that extra second or quarter of a second, and then be amazed that Joel does the same thing?
I mean, honestly, it's competition, and you strive so hard during the week, and just everything that you do, you try to be better at it every day. And I'm very in tune with my machine, doing a lot of the work on my machine and ins and outs, and I learn things, and I'm always trying things. I'm a guy that really doesn't settle for okay. I gotta push myself to the limit, and also it's a living for me, and it's a fun living, but it's also a living where you're providing for your family, and this is something I've been loving to do. But honestly, at the end of the day, I got to make sure I come off the track safe and go to my family. But it's a blast mixing it up with these guys, and just the competition that it brings with it. And any given day, one of these guys can step up and bring some special speed, and just have a race of their lives. And I feel like things are coming, because there's been a lot of really close calls this year where, for Brandon, having a great ride at Daytona, and one of these guys are going to step up and really bring it, and it could be tomorrow. We'll see.
So a lot of your fans may not know this, but back in your youth, you were a pretty accomplished football player, and you actually gave up football for racing. Do you think that competitiveness has helped you in the ATV arena?
Oh, for sure. And I think the work ethic of the team sports and everything that goes with it, really it transitioned over to racing for me a lot, where a lot of riders, I mean, I love just going out and riding, but also putting in the work off the track is very important too, and having that high fitness. And the team sports are great with the camaraderie that you have. I really miss that part of it. But you have camaraderie with racing too. It's going out and riding with your friends, and the day ins and day outs of the grinds. But if somebody's there alongside you, grinding with you, it's a lot more fun. That's for sure.
So not to shift gears, but you've been riding the motocross for many years. You've seen a lot of racetracks, a lot of promoters. Briarcliff, promoter Jeremy Osborne, a diehard ATV enthusiast. What do you have to say about that? Does that make this a special race?
Honestly, I guess guess I really don't ever think about like, you know, it being like anything different, but it definitely is with you know, Jeremy being an ATV enthusiast, and his family does it as well. I mean, this is their backyard that we're racing on, so a lot of respect to them, and cool that they allow us to come, and I'm sure it's a dream come true for us to come the first year and then to get it back. And you can definitely tell they put a lot of work into the track to get it ATV motocross friendly, and it's been a success, and I know that they promote a great event. You know, they put a lot of work into it, so it's gonna be fun to get back on the track again.
That's outstanding. Chad, I got one more question for you. And you're an 8-time champion. Do you feel the pressure of those 8 championships on you at all during the season, for maybe some of your fans or some of your sponsors just expecting you to be the #1 guy?
Not any more than what I put on myself. It's been, you know, it was my dream to win one. I never ever thought that I would be tied with, you know, 8 championships, a record tying, and I never ever shot for that, and I'm not shooting to try and beat it. I just try to be better and do the best that I can, and, you know, create a great living for my family, and enjoying the trip along the way. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, I've been able to do a lot of cool things, you know, through racing. You know, travel the world, and it's just been a very cool experience. And, you know, honestly, the championship thing it doesn't weigh on me. I just feel like it's if I stepped away now, I'd be totally at peace of what I've been able to accomplish with my career. Over accomplished for sure.
Do you think you could step away?
I mean, eventually I'm going to have to. I'm going to age out, but honestly, I feel like I got some years left in me. I got another year on my contract next year, so I'm going to reevaluate then. And you know, it's like one of those things. I'm kind of ready to chase after my kids and not have them chasing after me. But it's pretty cool for them to be around, and hopefully they remember some of the things that we've been able to do together, like go to the races and travel.
That's outstanding.
Well, you know, probably one of the best photos that I've seen in years is your kids and Joel's kids playing in the pits. Like that's pretty special. The guys that battle it out every single weekend, their kids are playing together.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely like aged well. Like, you know, I don't think we ever, like Joel and I, we never talked like we were having kids or anything like that. It's just one of those things that just happened, and I think it's really cool because like our wives see things that they see together, and you know, they do so much for our racing, and they take so much weight, you know, during the races and the grinds throughout the winter, and it's pretty cool that they can share those moments together, the wives, and then the kids, like, that's just a topping on the cake to see them have fun and the smiles that it brings with it.
That's outstanding. Thank you so much, Chad. Good luck tomorrow. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I know that it's going to be an epic race.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it, and have a good night.
Thank you. Joel Hetrick, you're the points leader, you're a 2-time champion, and I take it that you're pretty hungry because you've upped your game every year that you've raced the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have to racing the best in the world here. This year, definitely figured something out with the machine, and just did a lot of testing over the winter at the Decker training facility, and just feel really comfortable on the machine right now. And it's definitely shown. I've had some good results, and we're just gunning for more.
When you say you were down at Decker's, how much development time did you guys spend? Was it all development, or was there a lot of focus on your training at the same time?
I think like probably the first month is just focused on getting back into that riding shape, so you can do the development and the testing and the shocks and the motor and stuff like that. Because at the beginning you're kind of, you know, you go out there and you get wore down right at the beginning, and so it's not real beneficial to tune right at the start of the winter. But as soon as I got in shape, you know, I had Casey Grieg, Jay Goebel with Impact Solutions down there a few times down in the Elk suspension, and that really played a part in this whole year, especially for the rough tracks. I feel like I'm doing much better. And then with the motor package, I feel like we've accomplished a lot with that. I felt like maybe we're lacking a little bit last year, just not knowing what to really push with that machine. And I ride the ragged edge of it, so we were just trying to keep it reliable and still have that power. But DASA really figured us out this year.
So when you're out last year, you were worried about the limits of the machine. This year, you figured them out so that you can push even harder than you did.
I don't know if I was worried about the limits. I just think that we were just trying to find those limits, and we found them in practice, and just had to develop a really good package that was good for me, because I'm not a huge guy, so I can't have a arm ripping machine like maybe if I rode Chad's bike I would hate it. So it's just you got to find that comfortable spot for yourself, and I feel like I really found it this year, and the suspension is just working phenomenal, and honestly, that's a big key to what's been going on this year for me, I think.
I want to back up a little bit. I know Daytona has always been a tough thing for you. How did it feel this year walking away with that #1?
Man, during the race, I'm freaking out because Brandon's riding phenomenal, and I'm like, there's 2 turns on the track with what they altered for us, so I had no idea where I was going to pass. I had one more shot, and there was like 2 laps to go. I couldn't see the pit board because Brandon's over there roosting me so much, and just it's hard to see, and it's hard to gauge the lines because I'm so close to him that I told my wife, I'm like, I had one more shot, and after that was it. I'm falling for second. So just brutal for him, but me and Brandon are pretty close, so I told him, I've been there and been in that spot. It sucks, and just got to push through it like he has, and just I don't know. The emotion was crazy for me. It was really weird. I think it's just because I've had that monkey on my back there forever. So to win it, and I was standing on my quad, I was screaming. Honestly, maybe it was given to me, but I was breathing down his neck the whole time, and like I said, I had one more shot, but it was an unreal feeling. I've only won that one time prior, so to go home with that nice wakeboard, I was pretty stoked.
So this year, it's sort of a little bit of a role reversal with Chad. He's had some hard luck. How does it feel to be the one in the driver's seat, the one with the points lead? How does that change your game mentally as you come into these final rounds?
Man, it's a tough question because I just keep telling myself I just go out there and race how I do every weekend, and I've been ahead before and it's not worked out. So I know the points. Obviously, I do the math, but I just go out there to race to win like we all do. And if I did anything else, I'd probably go slower. So I just got to do what I'm doing and stay focused and have fun doing it.
How are you liking the changes to Briarcliff?
From last year, it's definitely a little bit different. Like Chad said, not much, but it's a unique track. Growing up in Pennsylvania, riding clay, and I feel right at home. So I'm happy with how it looks. We did the track walk today, and I'm definitely confident on these tracks. So the way it developed today, it looked good. It was a little choppy in the turns, and everywhere else was kind of hard packed, and it was spongy, but it'll probably dry out even more, honestly, depending on what they do. But I'm happy with it. It's a good change. Jeremy runs a good show, great guy, great family, and obviously it's really cool for him and for us to have a quad enthusiast be the promoter of this race.
Are you going to race the Pit Bike Challenge?
Probably not, honestly. Last year, Zach Decker about killed me, so probably not going to do it. I have a real bad knee that I tore up at Daytona in 2016 in a crash, and it's just getting worse. Age is not helping, and if it wasn't for Quad Cross the Nations, I'd probably get surgery this year, but that's where we're at. So yeah, I won't be racing the 90 race. I think a kid's going to race my 90, but not me personally.
How many races have you went overseas for?
Just 2.
So this is your 3rd one?
This will be my 3rd one.
Wow. It's quite an accomplishment to be asked to be on that team. And how are you feeling about it? Do you think it's going to affect your season at all?
No, I don't even think about that right now. I got one goal right now, and that's all I'm worried about. When that comes, the time comes, we'll race, and we'll do our best to win. But right now, like I said, there's one goal in mind, and that's to win motos.
That's outstanding. George, you got anything else?
So Lenny, I find it really interesting that he's not going to sandbag. He's still going to go out there and try to win every race. That's pretty interesting.
I thought you meant the 90 because I always get beat on the 90s.
No. How much is the pressure, or does the pressure affect you? I know every racer has pressure on them, but having the point lead, like George was asking you, this is a whole new ball game because it's not the same as it was in the past. You are doing very well. You have a comfortable lead. Is there more pressure this time than there was in the past?
I don't know if there's more pressure. There's always pressure. I mean, you go down the line and everyone's probably in the same boat. It's just, if you're not a little bit nervous, a little bit, you don't feel that pressure, you probably shouldn't be there because there's a lot on the line and you're going for everything. And when you're going as fast as we go for 20 minutes, it's a dangerous sport. And, like I said, there's a lot on the line. So I think there's that pressure. The pressure of the championship, like I said, it's just, I'm going for, moto wins, and, if that comes, it comes. I've had some terrible luck at the end of the year, 2018, so, we're just going to race and try to win.
Do you think your mindset has changed as you mature to put yourself in a better place?
Yeah, it's pretty funny you say that. They call me Joel 2.0 this year, so I don't know if they think I'm changing, but mentality's definitely changed. I'm not so sporadic at the beginning of the race. Maybe I wait for the times that I need to, and I push when I have to. It's just my mind's like racing all the time, like 24/7. So when I'm out on the track, the years past, you've seen, I crash, or I'll mess up, or I'll have something happen to where I won't be able to come up and contend for a win, and that's where Joel 2.0 comes in.
So one other cool thing I think that Joel's doing is every race they have a different graphic kit, different theme. Tell us a little bit about how that came about, whose idea it was, and who picks the kit each week.
So David Eller, our team owner, came up with that idea. Pretty neat idea. He comes up with the designs himself, not himself. SSI Decals does the work. He comes up with the ideas, I should say. And it's unique. I got people asking me every week, what's it going to be this week? Is it going to be 4th of July or like everyone thought it was going to be Batman for this weekend, and I did too actually until I got here. And it is a normal Team Phoenix graphics, which is super cool. The bike looks really good. But it's unique, and it brings a little more interest to my pit. And like last year we had the John Deere, or last race we had the John Deere. Sorry. So it's pretty cool. It's fun for all of us, and it's fun for the fans to get to see that and get to wonder what is going to be next.
Well, that's pretty cool. I do think that is a excellent promotion tool to change the decals like that. Joel, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us. I know that we've probably ran over a little bit for you guys. You're the 5 fastest men on the planet on ATVs. I really think that the race is going to be epic tomorrow. Thank you again, and let's go get them.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having us on here.
Yeah, best of luck to you all tomorrow.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.